You walk into a room, and nobody looks up. You speak, and people interrupt you. You are nice, but you are invisible. In the modern world, being harmless is not a virtue. It is a death sentence for your status. Today, we decode the dark aura, the invisible energy that forces people to seek your validation without you saying a word. Niccolò Machiavelli is here to teach you how to seize respect through fear, silence, and theatricality. Marcus Aurelius is here to teach you how to command it through unshakable character and indifference. Stop being the nice guy who finishes last. Welcome to the debate. Force them to respect you.
Marcus. Look at them. Look at the men trying to be virtuous in the modern world. They walk with their heads down. They apologize for taking up space. They are invisible. You tell them that character is enough. I tell them that in the court of public opinion, a man is judged by his eyes, not his soul. If you look like prey, you will be eaten. It does not matter how noble you are on the inside if your outside screams victim.
You mistake theatricality for authority, Niccolò. You want them to wear a costume. I want them to build a spine. A man who walks with his head down does so because he is ashamed of who he is. He fears the judgment of others. You cannot fix that fear by teaching him to puff out his chest like a bird. You fix it by teaching him that the judgment of others is merely the clacking of tongues. It is noise. When he truly believes that, his head lifts naturally.
Philosophy takes years. These men need respect today. They need the mechanics of power. Let us be practical. The first thing that kills respect is the fidget. Observe the low-status male. He touches his face. He fixes his hair. His leg bounces under the table. He is leaking anxiety. He is broadcasting to the entire room, "I am uncomfortable. Please do not hurt me." To force respect, you must kill the fidget. This is the first instruction. Absolute stillness. When you enter a room, imagine you are moving through water. Slow down your movements by 20%. Do not scratch. Do not adjust your clothes. If you must turn your head, turn it slowly. Speed is a sign of reaction. Slowness is a sign of control. The king does not rush. The servant rushes to please the king.
I agree with the stillness, but not the pretense. The fidget is indeed a leak. It leaks the chaos of the mind. You tell them to act slow. I tell them to zoom out. This is the technique, the view from above. Before you walk into that meeting or that date, close your eyes for a second. Visualize the building you are in, then the city, then the empire, then the stars. Realize how small this moment is. Realize that the people inside that room are just breathing dust, destined to die just like you. When you truly see them as mortals, the fear evaporates. You do not need to fake stillness, Niccolò. You become still because there is no threat. A lion does not fidget when he walks among sheep.
A lion also does not smile at every sheep he meets. This is the second fatal error of the nice guy, the instant smile. You walk in, you make eye contact, and immediately you flash a wide, desperate smile. You are begging for approval. You are saying, "I am harmless. Please like me." This is disgusting. It lowers your value instantly. To command respect, you must master the void stare. Here is exactly how to do it. When you meet someone, look them directly in the eyes. Do not smile yet. Hold their gaze. 1 second, 2 seconds, 3 seconds. Look right through their iris. Look right through them. In that silence, their brain begins to panic. They think, "Does he like me? Is he judging me? Why isn't he trying to please me?" That anxiety is where your power lives. You become the judge. Only after those 3 seconds do you offer a slight, controlled smile. Now, your smile is a reward, not a handout.
You play games with human connection. You treat every interaction like a battlefield. This void stare is predatory. However, there is truth in the restraint. A man who smiles too quickly is indeed a man who has no control over his own emotions. He is a slave to the social atmosphere. But do not stare to intimidate. That is the tactic of a thug. Stare to see. Look them in the eye to find the truth. Most people look away because they are hiding. They are ashamed. If you hold your gaze, it should be with the weight of reality. You are signaling, I am here. I am not hiding, and I see you. This is not intimidation, Niccolò. It is presence, and presence is far more terrifying to a liar than your void stare.
Call it what you want, Emperor. The effect is the same. They freeze, they respect. But the eyes are useless if the head is weak. Watch the nice guy when he listens to someone speak. He nods. He nods constantly, like a plastic toy in the back of a carriage. Every time the other person speaks, he nods. Yes, yes, exactly, He is terrified of a moment of disagreement. He is validating them every second. Stop nodding. This is the instruction. Keep your head perfectly still, like a statue. Listen to them, watch them, but give them nothing. This creates a vacuum. They will start to talk faster. They will try harder to convince you. They will work for your reaction. And when you finally give a single, slow nod, they will feel a rush of dopamine. You have turned your approval into gold. Scarcity creates value.
You are turning human conversation into a puppet show. But you are correct about the symptom. The constant nodding is a nervous tic. It is the body saying, I submit to your rhythm. The Stoic does not submit to anyone's rhythm but his own reason. I do not stop nodding to starve them of validation. I stop nodding because I am thinking. The pause of judgment, that is the technique. When they finish a sentence, do not react immediately. Take a breath, evaluate what they said. Is it true? Is it useful? By refusing to nod automatically, you are reclaiming your sovereignty. You are telling them, I am not a mirror for your ego. I am a rational mind, and I will judge your words on their merit.
Exactly. You become the prize. And finally, let us speak of space. The nice guy shrinks. He crosses his legs. He folds his arms. He tries to occupy as little room as possible so he does not offend. To force respect, you must expand. If you are sitting, spread your arms on the chair. If you are standing, widen your stance. Claim the territory. When you shrink, your biology sends a signal of low serotonin to your brain. You actually become more anxious. When you expand, you signal dominance. Do not be polite with space. It is yours. Take it.
It is not about taking space, Niccolò. It is about not being compressed by the expectations of others. A king can sit on a wooden stool and look like a giant. A fool can sit on a throne and look like a child. The expansion must come from the spirit. If you expand your body, but your eyes are darting around looking for safety, you just look like an arrogant fool. But yes, do not shrink. To shrink is to apologize for your existence. Nature did not make you to apologize. It made you to stand.
Beautiful words. But words don't change biology. Posture does. Stand up straight, shoulders back, kill the fidget, stare into the void. Stop nodding. Do this for 1 week and watch how the world changes around you. They will stop interrupting. They will start listening. They will fear you. Or do this. Realize you are dying. Realize they are dying too. Realize that their respect adds nothing to your character, and their disrespect takes nothing away. Be still because you are solid. Look at them because you are not afraid. Listen because you seek truth. Do this, and they will not just fear you, they will follow you.
Fear is faster, Marcus, and I am impatient.
And that is why you was a servant to power, while I was the master of it. Let us speak of the voice, because most men do not speak, they leak. They are terrified of silence. When the conversation pauses, they feel a biological panic. They think, I must fill this void, or they will think I am boring. So they chatter. They tell jokes that aren't funny. They explain things nobody asked about. Listen to me. If you are explaining, you are losing. To force respect, you must master the first law of court dynamics. Always say less than necessary. The more you say, the more common you appear, and the less control you have. The powerful man speaks in riddles and decrees. The weak man speaks in justifications. Here is the technique. When someone asks you a question, answer it, and then stop. Do not add because. Do not add if that makes sense. Do not add I just think that. Give the answer, close your mouth, and look at them. The silence that follows will be heavy. It will feel like a physical weight on your chest. You will want to break it. Do not break it. Let the other person feel the pressure. They will start talking. They will reveal their intentions. They will try to fill the silence with their own insecurities. He who is most comfortable with the silence owns the interaction.
You use silence as a trap, Niccolò. You lay it like a snare to catch a rabbit. But you are right about the disease. The man who cannot be silent is a man who cannot govern himself. If you cannot control your tongue, how can you control an empire?
I do not stay silent to trick others. I stay silent because most things do not need to be said. The gatekeeper. That is the discipline. Before you speak, ask yourself, is this true? Is this necessary? Is this kind? Usually, it is none of these. It is just ego trying to be heard. When you speak rarely, your words gain mass. We call this gravitas. If a man chatters like a bird all day, his words are light as feathers. No one respects a feather.
But when the man who is silent finally speaks, it sounds like thunder, even if he whispers.
Thunder is good, but let us talk about the tone of that thunder. Have you noticed how the submissive man speaks? He uses the uptalk. He finishes every sentence with a rising pitch, like he's asking a question. My name is John. I think we should go this way. He is begging for validation. He is checking the room to see if it is safe to have an opinion. Kill the uptalk. When you state your name, drop your pitch at the end. When you give an opinion, drop your pitch. It is a statement of fact, not a request for permission. Force your voice down into your chest. Resonance triggers a primal response in others. High pitch signals child. Low pitch signals leader.
The pitch wavers because the spirit wavers. A man seeks validation because he has not validated himself. He treats the opinion of the mob as his compass. If you want to fix the voice, fix the belief. Do you believe what you are saying, or are you saying what you think they want to hear?
If you speak the truth as you see it, you do not need to force your pitch down. The truth has its own weight. It lands heavily by its own nature.
But I will give you a technique for the chaotic room. When the room is loud, when everyone is shouting to be heard, the weak man shouts louder. He tries to compete with the noise. The whisper of authority. When the room is loud, I lower my voice. I speak quieter. This forces them to stop their noise to hear me. It forces them to lean in. It changes the dynamic from I am trying to reach you to you must work to reach me.
A subtle trick. I like it. But sometimes, Marcus, the room is not just loud. It is hostile. Let us teach them about the interruption. This is the ultimate dominance move. Someone cuts you off while you are speaking. They try to steal the floor. The nice guy stops immediately. He apologizes. He yields. He thinks he is being polite. In reality, he is showing the tribe that he is a beta male who can be silenced. Never yield the floor. Option A, the steamroll. If they start talking while you are talking, do not stop. Do not raise your volume. Do not lower it. Maintain the exact same cadence. Keep talking through their words as if they are a ghost. Do not acknowledge them. Maintain eye contact. Eventually, they will feel awkward and stop. You have steamrolled them with pure will. Option B, the stop hand. If they persist, raise your hand slightly, palm open. Look them dead in the eye and say calmly, "I haven't finished." Do not smile. Do not say sorry. Just the command. It creates a moment of shock. It reestablishes hierarchy instantly.
You fight fire with fire, Niccolò. You turn a conversation into a brawl. I handle interruptions with the void of attention. If someone interrupts me, I stop immediately. I cut my sentence mid-word.
And I look at them. I do not look at them with anger. I look at them with total silence. I let their interruption hang in the air. The room will become very quiet. Everyone will look at the person who interrupted. They will feel the rudeness of their own action. The silence amplifies their mistake.
I wait for 2 seconds after they stop talking. A long, uncomfortable pause.
And then I resume my sentence exactly where I left off, completely ignoring what they said. I do not fight for the floor. The floor is mine because I have something to say. By withdrawing my attention, I punish them more than your stop hand ever could. The stop hand is active power. Your void is passive-aggressive. But I admit, watching a man talk himself into a hole of silence is satisfying. However, there is one more trap: over-apologizing. Men today say sorry like it is punctuation. Sorry, can I pass? Sorry to bother you. Sorry, I think you're wrong. Stop apologizing for existing. If you bump into someone, say excuse me, not sorry. If you are late, say thank you for waiting, not sorry I'm late. One frames you as a burden. The other frames you as a prize. Words shape reality, Marcus. If you call yourself a burden, they will treat you like one.
On this, we are aligned. To apologize when you have done wrong is justice. To apologize when you have done nothing is cowardice.
It is a lie. You are not sorry. You are just afraid of taking up space. Speak with precision. If you are late, you stole their time. Acknowledge it, but do not grovel. Thank you for your patience. Acknowledges their virtue without degrading your own.
But I will give you a technique for the chaotic room. When the room is loud, when everyone is shouting to be heard, the weak man shouts louder. He tries to compete with the noise, the whisper of authority. When the room is loud, I lower my voice. I speak quieter.
This forces them to stop their noise to hear me. It forces them to lean in. It changes the dynamic from I am trying to reach you to you must work to reach me. A subtle trick. I like it. But sometimes, Marcus, the room is not just loud. It is hostile. Let us teach them about the interruption. This is the ultimate dominance move. Someone cuts you off while you are speaking. They try to steal the floor. The nice guy stops immediately. He apologizes. He yields. He thinks he is being polite. In reality, he is showing the tribe that he is a beta male who can be silenced. Never yield the floor. Option A, the steamroll. If they start talking while you are talking, do not stop. Do not raise your volume. Do not lower it. Maintain the exact same cadence. Keep talking through their words as if they are a ghost. Do not acknowledge them. Maintain eye contact. Eventually, they will feel awkward and stop. You have steamrolled them with pure will. Option B, the stop hand. If they persist, raise your hand slightly, palm open. Look them dead in the eye and say calmly, I haven't finished. Do not smile. Do not say sorry. Just the command. It creates a moment of shock. It reestablishes hierarchy instantly.
You fight fire with fire, Niccolò. You turn a conversation into a brawl. The steamroll creates enemies. It makes you look desperate to be heard. A king does not need to shout over a peasant. I handle interruptions with the void of attention.
If someone interrupts me, I stop immediately. I cut my sentence mid-word, and I look at them. I do not look at them with anger. I look at them with total silence. I let their interruption hang in the air. The room will become very quiet. Everyone will look at the person who interrupted. They will feel the rudeness of their own action. The silence amplifies their mistake. I wait for 2 seconds after they stop talking. A long, uncomfortable pause. And then I resume my sentence exactly where I left off, completely ignoring what they said. I do not fight for the floor. The floor is mine because I have something to say. By withdrawing my attention, I punish them more than your stop hand ever could. The stop hand is active power. Your void is passive-aggressive. But I admit, watching a man talk himself into a hole of silence,
You have mastered the eyes. You have mastered the voice. But eventually, the world will test you. A colleague makes a joke at your expense in a meeting. A friend makes a subtle dig at your ambition. A partner speaks to you with contempt. Most men react in 2 ways. They either explode in anger, which looks weak, or they laugh it off awkwardly, hoping to keep the peace. If you laugh at an insult, you are finished. You have accepted the role of the court jester. You have signaled that you can be abused for sport. You must learn the spotlight technique. When someone throws a subtle insult, do not get angry. Anger shows they touched a nerve. Instead, stop everything. Look at them with a flat, bored face and ask calmly, "Can you repeat that?" Force them to say the insult again. Drag it out of the shadows into the light. Usually, they will crumble. They will stutter. They will say, "Oh, it was just a joke. Relax." When they backpedal, do not let them off the hook. Stare for 2 seconds longer. Then turn your attention away completely. You have destroyed their social status without raising a fist.
You treat human interaction like a knife fight, Niccolò. But the technique has merit if used without malice. However, the spotlight is still a reaction. It still requires you to engage with their poison. The Stoic uses a stronger defense, the stone wall. When a man insults me, I visualize a rock being hit by a pebble. Does the rock get angry? Does the rock ask the pebble to repeat itself? No, the rock is indifferent. The insult says nothing about me. It says everything about him. It reveals his insecurity, his lack of manners, his pain. So I use the diagnosis. I look at him with mild curiosity, as a doctor looks at a patient. I might say, "You seem very upset today. Is everything all right?" I do not engage with the content of his words. I engage with his emotional instability. By framing him as upset or emotional, I remain the rational adult. He becomes the child throwing a tantrum. I do not need to destroy him. I simply pity him.
Pity is a nice shield for an emperor, but in the jungle, pity looks like passivity. Sometimes, Marcus, you need to be the executioner, not with violence, but with absence. The removal of supply. Humans are simple creatures. They repeat behaviors that are rewarded. If they insult you and you stay in the room, you are rewarding them with your presence. If someone disrespects you, withdraw your attention immediately. Stop helping them. Stop looking at them. If they ask you a question, give a one-word answer. And if they push too far, use the verdict. Look them in the eye and say, "I don't like your tone." Do not apologize. Do not explain why. Just state the fact. Then silence. Most men are terrified of creating awkwardness. You must learn to weaponize awkwardness. Let the tension sit there. Let them choke on it. If the consequence of disrespect is that they lose access to you, they will learn to respect you out of fear of loss.
We agree on the action, but not the intent. Remove yourself, yes, but do it for your own peace, not to punish them. If you do it to punish, you are still playing their game. You are still a slave to their reaction. If you do it for your own self-respect, you are free. This leads to the ultimate power move, the walk away. The man who is willing to walk away from the deal, from the relationship, from the table, he has all the leverage. Most men stay and argue because they are needy. They need to be right. They need to be understood. The sovereign man needs nothing. If the situation is disrespectful, he does not argue, he does not try to teach them a lesson, he simply leaves. He gathers his cloak and walks out the door. There is no comeback more powerful than your absence. When they realize you do not need you, they will chase you.
Ideally, yes, but ensure that when you walk away, you leave a void they cannot fill. That is the final key to respect. Competence. If you are useless, walking away is a relief to them. If you are valuable, walking away is a disaster for them. So, build your value. Sharpen your dagger. And when they disrespect you, remind them that your presence is a privilege, not a right.
Build your value, yes, but build it on virtue, not just utility. Be the man who stands straight when others slouch. Be the man who speaks truth when others lie. Be the man who stays calm when others panic. Do this, and you will not need to force respect. Respect will hunt you down.
The debate is over. You have the tools. Machiavelli gave you the armor, the void stare, the silence, and the spotlight. Marcus Aurelius gave you the core, the view from above, and the stone wall. To force respect, you must master the paradox. Look dangerous enough so the wolves hesitate, but be solid enough that you do not care if they bite. Be a warrior in a garden, not a gardener in a war. If you are ready to build your dark aura, subscribe to the channel. We are building a legion of dangerous men. Like the video to signal the algorithm that you demand power. And leave your mark in the comments. Write, "I choose silence if you will use the power of the pause." Or, "I choose action if you will use the power of boundaries." The world is watching. Make them look. Until next time.